So putting the hammer to Iran, lawmakers like Senator John McCain seeking a new round of sanctions against the rogue nation, despite protests from the White House that would kill the deal that they just struck with the nation.
We want to make sure that the Iranians understand that if there's no agreement, and we don't trust this interim agreement, that the Congress will act and act decisively. They are months away, in the view of some, a few months away from the acquisition of a nuclear weapon. And they're continuing with their development with the missiles and the weapons to deliver it.
Senator Lindsey Graham not only agrees with Senator McCain, the South Carolina Republican is willing to block a key Pentagon spending bill if the Senate doesn't vote on Iran sanctions. The member of the Armed Services Committee joins us now. Senator Graham, good morning to you. Morning. So you are, as I understand it, so upset about not having Congress have the ability to vote on whether or not these sanctions will be lifted or implemented or added to, that you're willing to attach it to the defense authorization bill, which you would very much like to pass, correct?
Yeah, I want to make sure that the Iranians understand that the Congress believes that the only reason they're at the table is because of the pressure of sanctions, and the Congress is going to continue sanctions unless we achieve an acceptable outcome. The interim deal is a terrible deal. It doesn't dismantle any of their nuclear capabilities. There's bipartisan support for a new round of sanctions that would pressure the Iranians to stop their nuclear ambitions, and I want to vote.
If you and Senator McCain and others obviously are so concerned that Iran is very close to establishing a nuclear weapon, which pretty much the entire world agrees can't happen, why do you think the administration is going in such a different direction? They have to believe that what they're doing will prevent that from happening as well.
I think they believe there are two Iranian regimes, a moderate regime and a hardline regime, and that if you impose sanctions, it will embolden the hardliners and marginalize the moderates. I think that's a mistake for the ages. There is no difference between Rouhani and the Ayatollah on the nuclear program. This new president is charming, but did he say anything when the Ayatollahs killed Iranians who are asking for honest elections and more say in their lives? Has he ever criticized the regime for putting people in jail and executing them randomly? No. When he was the negotiator in 2004, the current president, he bragged about the advancements under his watch of their nuclear program. So they're mistaken. There are no moderates in the government when it comes to Iran, and I think the Obama administration, like this and other things, are misreading the tea leaves.
Senator, I want to play for you an exchange with your former colleague, Senator John Kerry, who got very exasperated over this the other day. Let's watch.
Do you believe it is still the goal of the Supreme Leader to destroy Israel and destroy the United States?
Well, you know, when you say, do I believe, I think their rhetoric is dangerous and threatening and, you know, incredibly counterproductive and damaging to any potential sort of, you know, rational relationship.
What do you think about that exchange, Senator?
I think the Iranians would kill the Israelis if they could. I think the Iranians have a goal of dominating the region. They want a nuclear weapon to advance their influence in the region, that the Shia Persians would be a nuclear nation and a safe harbor for the regime. Nobody would ever bother them again because they become a nuclear power. They would threaten Israel and the Sunni Arab neighbors. They would share the technology with the terrorist organization. It could work its way here. Why? Because for the last 30 years, they've been a regime spreading state-sponsored terrorism ahead of all others in the entire world. Here's another question for Secretary Kerry. Do you believe they're lying when they say they're just trying to build a nuclear power plant for peaceful purposes? They're lying. They're trying to build a nuclear weapon. When they say they're not trying to build a nuclear weapon, they're lying. There are no moderates there. These people are dangerous, and they mean what they say, and I am going to do everything I can to let them know that this is going to end one of two ways. Peacefully, where you dismantle your nuclear ambitions, or otherwise. Because if you don't let them believe that, if they don't believe sanctions are coming and will stay in effect if they don't do the right thing, or there's a credible threat of military force, they're going to break out like North Korea.
Yeah.
And God help us all if the Ayatollahs get a nuclear weapon.
All right. Senator Graham, thank you very much. We'll watch it closely, as I know you always do. Good to have you with us,
Thank
and
you.
Merry Christmas.